My father purchased a country home that had been vacant for 7 years about 2 years ago. The house was placed in a rural area, with forests and heavy vegetation all around. The residence was formerly held by a man who lived with his lone kid after his wife died several years ago. The man died of heart arrest, and his 20-something son left the house and traveled to another city to live with his uncle. The house was subsequently passed over to a distant relative, a destitute single elderly lady who would care for it. The owner's son turned off the electricity because he couldn't afford the bill, so the elderly lady stayed alone with only a kerosene lamp each night. After a year, she died of old age, alone in the darkness, and her neighbors discovered her body 2 days later. The house was subsequently abandoned for another year before being sold to someone who came before my father. The previous owner of the house lived there for less than a year. He met my father at our house and told him that there was something strange about the house, but he did not elaborate on his meaning. My father bought the house nevertheless because he appreciated how peaceful it was and thought it would be an ideal location for our family vacation. Moreover, the price bid was excellent. When I initially arrived at the house with my father and brother, it was a complete disaster. Everything was in disarray, broken ceilings, a muddy floor, and peeling paint on the wall. It would take some time to clean all of this up, I told myself. As I continued to investigate the house, I noticed 2 large mirrors opposite each other on the living room wall. One of them has long vertical rust streaks that appeared to have been scratched by some hands. Then I discovered a small pentagram drawing on the wall outside the house. It was drawn with charcoal. I assumed it was a hoax done by some brats here. The house required 2 months to be cleaned, restored, and furnished. I did not return to the house for a long time after that to clean things up, but my brother did. He traveled with his friends and stayed there for 2 days. When he got home, he informed me that on the second night he spent there, he saw a woman with very long hair and dressed in white stroll past him while he was watching TV in the living room. It was after 11 p.m., and all of his pals were already asleep. He claimed he couldn't see her face since it was completely covered with hair. That woman did not walk. Rather, she glided past him before disappearing behind the stairs to the second level of the house. I did not believe his story. I told him that it was a load of nonsense. Until approximately 4 months ago, I traveled there alone on weekends to find a quiet place to stay after a long, busy week. It was just 10 o'clock in the morning. I was lying down on my sofa, listening to music on my phone. I felt drowsy. When I picked up my phone and changed to a Joe Cocker song, its front camera took a picture by itself. I heard a clicking sound and noticed the screen flash for a second. I was perplexed. My phone screen was displaying the UI of a music player software, PowerAmp, and I was convinced it couldn't take a photo while on it, as the program doesn't have such a feature. I took a close look at my phone screen and saw there was a photo connected as album art for the music. The picture was gloomy, and all I could see was a small figure in the upper right corner. Soon after, when I tried to spin it 90 degrees clockwise and adjust the lighting, I realized the figure resembled a twisted face of a man. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for next stories.